This is a space for honest conversations about relationships, desire, and non-monogamy, specifically through the lens of Black and POC experiences.
We're your hosts, Compersion Dan and She. This podcast exists because so many conversations around swinging and E&M don't sound like us, don't center us, or don't consider the cultural layers we carry into these spaces.
We're not here to convince anyone of anything, just to talk openly, ask real questions, and share what we've learned, what we're still learning, and what often gets left unsaid.
This podcast started as a conversation between friends, the kind you don't always hear out loud.
This isn't about labels or perfection, it's about honesty, curiosity, and creating a space for people who don't always see themselves reflected in these conversations.
So, compersion. What
Yes.
does compersion mean to you? Do you want to give a definition, or do you want me to do that?
Well, I'll give my understanding of it.
Okay.
I think it's a feeling of happiness that you get or joy from your partner being happy or experiencing some sort of pleasure. I think it has to do more with connection, doesn't it? Oh no. What do you think?
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm pausing because I've I've noticed that I can feel compersion for both someone that I'm intimate with on
Okay.
a romantic level,
Hmm.
but also I can feel compersion for a very close friend as well.
We know
So
that.
so so and that, and
I've
that's
experienced that.
so, and it kind of goes back to communication, because a word can mean something totally different to different people.
Okay.
What do you mean
Yeah.
you've experienced that?
Um, at the munch.
Well, what happened at the munch, may I
What
ask?
do you want to discuss? What happened at the lunch? We keep
I'm
bringing up
just
this lunch, and I just have a feeling that the people who are listening will start to piece two and two together and start coming up with stories, which might not be a bad thing. We're all in a very open and free space, which is really good. So yeah, so at the munch, you had a sense of compersion, I think. And I think in conversation, we've kind of agreed that there was some compersion there. So there was an interaction with you and this said person. And then there was an interaction with the said person and myself. And then during the interaction with the said person and myself, they felt compelled to come and ask you if it was okay for them to engage with me. So yeah, so there was comparison there because what I saw is Dee go into this little boy mode of excitement. And that was very obvious. I could see it. It was in the body language. It was also in your face as well. So that was really nice. That was a really enjoyable moment for me. So it was nice to see that from a friend. But yeah, so that's what I mean by I experienced it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I see.
And then
I'm very quiet, but I'm suppressing laughter, and my cheeks are hurting.
please do not suppress your laughter. Because that was such a good thing for me looking from the other end. That was such a good thing to see from a friend. And, you know, it was very endearing. I love comparison. Don't you? I know you do because you've told me you do. You always. And your name is
Yeah.
Compersion D. So comparison.
So I didn't quite catch the last thing you said. What was that?
Your name is Compersion D. So
Oh, it
comparison.
isn't. It is indeed. Yeah. Well, if we think about the beginning of this conversation, and oh my goodness, the difference between my headspace now compared to how it used to be,
Mm,
some people say compersion is the opposite of jealousy. Others
mm,
say it's not that straightforward.
mm,
And that's why I say it's always down to different people's translation and interpretation.
mm.
So I have my own interpretation. But okay, so you said, compersion is the joy in other people's happiness.
Yes.
So, and I think that's a definition that many people have. But some of them also say it's the absolutely mind-blowing arousal in other people's happiness.
Yeah, it can be that. And I was going to say also, because you said experience love and joy. Was it
Yeah,
love and joy or was it happiness and joy? That's it, not love and joy.
yeah,
Happiness and joy. And there's also pleasure and connection,
yeah.
which is why we there was a very interesting conversation in the Club BiVersity Telegram chat this morning, which has brought some discovery of a new kink that I have,
Indeed.
um, which is where compassion comes in as well. So yeah, and should I reveal my kink?
You may.
I may. So I have always, and I'm going to start here because I just want anyone listening to understand it's not just something that happened. So I've always had a fascination with knowing what a potential partner would be doing with other potential partners outside of a dynamic. That is a feeling that I probably put to one side because I never really wanted to explore. But where I am at this point in time, I it's something that I really want to explore. So I have come to the discovery that I am a cat queen. Are we explaining what a cat queen is? Shall I give you the pleasure of doing that?
I'm pausing for effect.
Good.
Because yeah, I felt a tiny pause as you said it,
Yeah.
and because um it felt like it felt like the
You lost
first
your
time.
words, Dan.
Slightly, yeah. It felt like the first time you're verbalizing it. It's definitely the first time you verbalized it, not in text. So, it
Yeah,
felt like a big statement. How does it
it
feel to
is.
you? Is this the first time you've verbally said it out loud?
Yes.
Yeah, it felt kind of felt that. Yeah,
Yeah. I've never really had a word for it, but I've known that there is pleasure from it. What
yeah.
specifically? Don't ask me that because I know you're going to ask me that because you be coming for me this morning.
Well, I mean, you forced me to, you know,
It
please,
wasn't that hard, was it?
please elaborate.
Oh no, because me and Dan have these conversations that go way deeper than we think we from when we started having a conversation, and a really good conversation, really good friendly conversations. And like I said, sometimes it's nice to get a perspective from a male friend, and I'm sure vice versa. Dee appreciates certain areas and perspectives of what I give from a female's perspective as well, from a female's end. So yeah, so that's where the conversation came in. I just felt compelled by a certain illustration, and you do the most amazing illustrations, by the way, that you shared on the group.
Thank you.
And you know, when that sort of feeling kind of takes you and you think, wait a minute, why is this picture or why is this video making me feel some type of way in a good way?
Yeah,
So it's almost like bringing something out. It's almost like coming out.
yeah. I could relate to that.
Yeah,
I can relate to that.
definitely like coming out.
And I want to ask you something. So, okay, I'll tell you how it has been from my perspective. So,
Hmm.
considering how conventionally jealous I used to be, and I'll add the caveat again. It doesn't mean I don't get jealous, but it has a different what's the word? It comes out differently in different
Yeah.
scenarios. So,
Hmm.
but if I go back to how I would be conventionally jealous in the past, when I feel compersion now,
Mm.
I don't know if it's similar with you. It's like it's this kind of freedom, and it's kind of like this freedom and euphoria almost. It's like yeah, it's just this. Yeah, I won't go too much, but it's like this massive freedom. It's like, oh my goodness, and it
Mm.
feels like a burden has been taken off you, and it also feels like all these doors suddenly open, and it's like anything feels possible. That's how it feels to me. I don't know if it feels in any way like that for you.
It really did feel freeing, even when we were just having the conversation before we've come to this conversation. There's a sense of freedom just for me. So, whew. So I am sitting really well with that sort of feeling of me being this person. I'm happy and comfortably sitting in my seat, in my cut queen seat, and enjoying and basking in it. It's really good. It is a good feeling.
Is there any embarrassment associated with that? Because when people hear, because you say cuck queen, the first part of
Mm,
that word cuck, there's a
hmm
lot of association with that word. Does that in any way
Control.
affect you? Does that if it well, I was wondering, well, is there for you any association with that word that is negative or in any way problematic for you?
No, there isn't.
Okay. That's
But
interesting. Sorry.
why would there be a something that is uncomfortable with the word? Just so
Right.
I can understand your perspective. Again, like we always say,
Mm,
we're both learning, and also interpretation of things might be different from different people.
yeah.
Mm.
Um, well, I kind of want to ask, well, not so much a question, but I kind of want to make an observation as well,
Hmm.
because I'd have to struggle to, and I said this to you earlier, I'd have to
Mm.
struggle to think of any other cut queens that I've ever encountered, except for the
Mm.
conversation in the Telegram earlier when we discovered another one. So maybe now,
Yeah.
so,
Which
so
we
maybe
need to
there's,
talk about as well. I think that was really interesting because I loved it. And well, we're going to talk about the said person, but yeah, carry on. I'm so excited.
yeah, yeah, I'm actually looking forward to finishing this podcast so that we can talk a bit more with that person because yeah,
Yeah,
that's exciting.
yeah.
Um, and I'd actually like to interview that person if they say yes to that actually. So I'm quite
Oh,
keen to,
please don't worry.
yeah.
I'm sure she'll be listening to this. We're both going to work on you if you're listening.
Yeah, no, that was fascinating.
No pun
Um,
intended though with the work, but yeah.
I'm far too wholesome to um
Listen, coming from the
he-
circles we're in, that could be taken in so many different ways. You have to be very clear. Yeah. Anyway, go
yeah.
on.
So yeah, no, so I was thinking, so yeah, that would be quite interesting. So I wonder if, so if, you know, the male, female, man, woman side of things, I wonder if there's any negative connotation of being a cut queen. And I
Mm,
suspect there isn't, but maybe that's my ignorance speaking. But I'm wondering, so basically, well, I'm wondering two things. One, I'm wondering if there are that many cut queens out there. And then two, because I'm not really aware of that, I wonder if there's a reason for that, i.e., they're hiding in plain sight. And are they hiding in plain sight, but for different reasons, as opposed
I,
to the male version, where so you've got okay, so the male version, you've got the commonly heard expression a cuckold, but
mhm,
even the cuckold, there's a wide spectrum within that. So you've got the cuckold, and then you've got the stag, and
mhm.
there's a blurred line where there may or may not be an overlap depending on the type of person or type of dynamic there may be within a relationship.
Can we break down these different things just briefly? Because I think some people might want to know what a cut queen is, a cuckold is, and a stag is, just
Okay,
for understanding.
right. So the So I can't remember if you explained what a cut queen is. So yeah, so anyway, so yeah, so my interpretation, a cut queen is a woman who gets pleasure, sexual pleasure from seeing her partner, engaging in adult activities with someone else.
Oh, I love it. I
Of
love
this
that.
wholesome
I'm not the
expression.
only diplomatic one in here.
And then so the so so the male version of that is basically a man who gets pleasure from seeing his partner companion engaging in pleasant adult activities with another person.
Yeah.
So the the term stag was given birth. Do you know, I think within my lifetime, actually, I could be mistaken, or became more popular. The
Mm.
term stag became popular because a lot of men have these kind of desires and fantasies, but there are, negative connotations associated with it, which make a lot of men not want to admit to having them. And
Mm.
even if they admit to having them, they're definitely not going to let anyone know. And the reason
Remember when
for
we talked about jealousy, we said ego.
yes, and it's the
Mm,
ego
like,
because
yeah,
yeah,
the alarm in my head with the red light, my
yeah.
imaginary head again. It's just flashing ego, ego, ego when you say that.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah,
Is there not wanting to reveal that you do get pleasure from seeing your said woman, or as most some people would say,
yeah,
getting pleasure from other sort of men or other potential
yeah,
partners. Yeah.
yeah. And a lot of it, from the male point of view, a lot of it comes from the fact that there's so much. I want to say misunderstanding, but some of that misunderstanding is based on reality. And what I mean by that is, for most people, when the word cuckold is mentioned, there's an assumption of humiliation, submission, things like that. And
Mm.
that doesn't necessarily match up to the desires of every cuckold. So what I mean by that is not every cuckold is necessarily a submissive. Not every cuckold revels in humiliation, because
Yeah.
the extreme end of a cuckold is someone who actually loves humiliation. So however, they might not want that humiliation in public, but they absolutely love that humiliation behind closed doors. So that's kind of like what you might call
Oh
the
God.
extreme end. But
Yeah.
then you have at the other end of the spectrum, the stag is, they may enjoy seeing their partner pleasured, but they're most certainly, um, again, I'm talking about the other end. If there's even a hint of humiliation, especially by any invited parties, it may lead to a punch in the face. So
Yeah.
because I'm saying that kind of figuratively, but you know what I mean. So a stag you might call a dominant cuckold. I'm throwing terms around loosely, but just to give a bit of clarity.
Oh,
So
see, I'm learning that. I didn't know that part.
yeah. So okay. So if I go to the extreme end of it, so the extreme end of a submissive cuckold, they love being humiliated, and you can call them all kinds of degrading names, and they will love it. They will absolutely love every part of it. But
Mm.
but not every cuckold likes that. So the term stag was invented. And even if I was to say to you that, oh, okay, you're a stag cuckold, some of the
Mm.
stags will be extremely offended to have any association with the word cuckold. That's how wide the difference is between the two.
Mm. Like you
So
can't really put the two together. It doesn't even match up.
a lot of if you call a stag a cuckold, there's going to be tension in the air.
I get
That
why you were asking me that question now.
Yeah, yeah. If you call a stag a cuckold, there's going to be tension in the air, and that's
Yeah.
why a lot of people prefer the term stag, because they don't want any association with humiliation or seen as not good enough and all this, not male, not alpha, all of that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
See,
But
see,
so
that's the
carry on.
thing. That's why I think like it. really does, when you're saying about submission, you know me, self-proclaimed submissive. I loud and proud, I love it. I shout it from the rooftops. I think
Yeah.
most people that know me as a sap. So yeah, so that kind of makes sense. All these things you're saying kind of align with the cat queen.
So does that, do you mean that you would be at the extreme cuckold end of cuck queen? You wouldn't be a stag
Yeah.
queen, for example.
Don't know about the stag part because there's kind of like well, from the explanation of there's like a dominance part to it. I really don't like to be seen as a dom. I'm in my feminine truth when I'm a submissive, and I love it.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Oh, I bask in that.
Yeah.
And I've been asked questions so many times. So this submissive side of yours, how does that work? How does that play into situations? And this is where then I come out and come out of my shell and want to explain how it works for me. And I love it. And I think kind of
Mm.
aligns with the cut queenish in terms of I like that submission. I like to be in a submissive position, although in a way kind of also plays with the part that I don't know. There's a lot's going on in my head, Dee.
Okay, so I want to ask the question then. So how does that translate to she in other aspects of your life then? So is the so are you, would you say that your submissive side only comes out in terms of your sexuality, or does it come out in other areas as well? Like, is it, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Where does that fit in terms of your whole persona?
When I said a lot of people ask me, somebody asked me these questions just this past weekend because they've always known me to be this person that screams it off the rooftop. And they were like, so tell me about your submission. How does that work? How does that play? Same question that you've asked me. And I think there's different aspects to it for me. If we start way back, growing up in a family where submission came naturally to most of the women that I grew up looking or I grew up seeing, because you were expected to be, as a woman, submissive to your husband. And submission can be a topic to dig deeper into, but just from seeing that, I just grew up knowing that that's who I want to be. Coming out of that monogamous lifestyle, and even as a submissive, moving on to and learning that in my early stages of life. Again, I knew that's who I wanted to be anyway. So moving on to my career path, there was a bit of a confusion with it as well, because again, expectation from family, you have to go and get this good job, you have to work in these positions. So in my working position, I've sort of built myself into different areas of my career, which has brought me to a place where I'm able to instruct. And I'm constantly in that sort of trajectory of instructing. This is what you need to do. This is how we need to do. And I do a little bit of compliance as well. So compliance is I'm also in an advisory position. So again, it's me telling people what to do. So, and when I say talk about my dom side, not dom side, I don't have a dom side. Please, that's not even there. When I talk about dominance, I try to get out of that mindset because that's what I'm used to in my working life. So when I become a submissive, I come back to my home life, then it feels very comfortable. I feel at home in my sub area. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
I've said a lot
So,
there.
so I suppose it ties into you coming out as a cut queen then.
Yeah.
So has something made you feel safer to do that? Because if you've always been sexually submissive anyway,
Yeah.
has something changed, or is it just a case of you didn't know this is something that was out there, if you see what I mean, because a lot of people have no idea about um cuckold and hot wife lifestyles and things like that. So is this a relatively new revelation to you, or how is it
Asking.
taking shape in your head?
Um, I'm gonna try and find a diplomatic way of saying this without saying too much. I think in the past, with potential partners that I've been with, um, it's always felt like it's something that I needed to give to somebody who was deserving to it. So, as a mode of protection for myself, I felt like that is something really sacred to me, and that is something really special. And for me to be able to open up and give it to somebody, it would have to be somebody that is special. I know where you know where this is going because you're trying to
I
get this out of me.
I have no idea. You'll have to explain.
Stop it. So, there is somebody who's deserving, and that person who is deserving, they know who they are, and I'm sure they'll probably listen to this podcast as well. I think he particularly deserves that side of me because he allows me to see myself in a different way that most people have probably tried and failed. So,
Wait, you can't just brush over that.
um,
He allows you to see yourself in a way that no one else has. What does that
yes,
mean? Explain what you mean.
I feel like he sees me. Even I don't know how to explain this without explaining it too much. Um, Basically, in conversation communication, you would be speaking to somebody who you're potentially partnered with, which is somebody that I am partnered with at this point in time. And in the process of getting to know each other, the more you engage with that person, the more you get to know them, the more you see them for who they are. And I think that's where the journey has kind of brought me and this said person. And in conversation, you know that somebody is can relate. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what I mean by when I see that, and I know that they can see me for who they can see me more than other people have been able to give the time to be able to see me in a different light. So it could be in my kink life, it could be in my other personal life, in conversations that we have, just generally, I think there is some sort of connection there
Yeah. And you
that
know what? Sorry, carry on. Yeah, carry on.
connection has also allowed me to open up. I think most women, for me, I think, and this is probably a different conversation for another time, but I think with most women, we're all submissive. All of us, most of us were submissive. But with the right person, and if you're comfortable and that person makes you comfortable, the more your submission will reveal itself and the more you'll make self discoveries of certain things. And that's where I think I'm at the moment.
That's
You just
interesting.
you discover certain things about yourself that you really never you probably they were in within you, because I think with my cat queen it's something that it was in within me, and we had a conversation as well, and I said it's not just discussions on sexual desire. It could be a vanilla night out with other people, and this person comes and tells me about the experiences of that particular vanilla night, and there is a certain air of excitement and wanting to know, wanting to hear, and that makes for a good sexual connection as well. For me it does.
Okay. Yeah.
Transferring that into the sort of kink lifestyle, you want to
Mm,
explore, or I want to explore that side on a more personal level.
okay. You said something very interesting, so it might be a topic for another day. You said that you think most women are submissive given the right conditions.
Mm.
Um, I can imagine a few women that I know that would push back against that. So I wonder what their take would be on that. Because yeah, I can think of one or two people, and I'm thinking I'm not so sure. But then again, maybe I'm not seeing that side of them. So yeah, that's an interesting one. I know why you're saying that, and
Mm,
maybe I'm saying it from the perspective of the bubble that we're in, because
mhm.
they're all different. There are different types out there. But having said that, some people are switches. I myself am a switch. So
I was about to say that as well. It's
yeah,
not just that, and by all means, I'm not generalizing every single woman, but I think from my opinion, I think that most women,
mm,
if met with the right conditions and the right people, they would be submissive.
mm,
I think sometimes we're resistant because of our experiences and we don't want to give that vulnerability to just anyone. Just like I was saying about about my experience with
mm,
me being a cat queen that never really wanted to identify herself as a cat queen because I thought that was a sacred thing for me and it should not be revealed unless I'm giving it to somebody who was deserving of it.
yeah, yeah. And do you know what? I'm going to wrap things up slightly, or move towards wrapping things up,
Yeah.
because I think that ties in very nicely to the beginning of this conversation. When we connect it to jealousy,
Mm,
because when you are with the right person and you feel safe within that dynamic, you were saying about how a woman will be submissive if she feels safe to do so.
mm,
When so I'm speaking from my point of view in terms of compersion. When I know there's a strong connection with someone,
mm.
it's like that, the limiting belief, that fear of loss isn't there, and it frees you to just totally enjoy their happiness. And it is, boy, it's actually very powerful. So I don't,
Absolutely. I love it.
yeah.
A man with compassion as well. Very sexy.
Oh my
Very sexy.
goodness. I don't know
Oh,
if I don't know if you've experienced it yet. So and I won't pry too much, but if when you get to the point where you actually experience full compersion as a cut queen, i.e., your partner has done something immediately before you see them or in front of you, your
mm.
mind is going to be blown. And so if you haven't been in that situation yet, I look forward to hearing about it because yeah, it's next level. Yeah, can't
I
even
mean,
describe what it is. Yeah, it's
listen,
next.
it's on the bucket list. Tick.
I look forward to that experience because your mind is going to be blown.
It's definitely on the bucket list. I'm so
Yeah,
excited. I really
yeah.
am actually excited. You can't sense it in my voice.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God. Yeah, I think should we end it here before we both say something we're going to regret?
I think we have already. I feel like it's been my revelation day today.
Oh dear.
I,
Oh,
I I love these conversations we have, Dee. You know this. So
yeah,
yeah,
me too. Right.
yeah.
Okay. Well, until the next one, we'll yeah, let's I wonder what our next topic of conversation will be.
Oh, it will come up again. I'm sure it will. It
I'm
might even
sure.
come up as soon as we come off this. So you know how we tend to go
Oh,
and go.
yeah.
But yeah, it's been amazing as always.
Likewise. And I'll see
Yeah,
you soon.
we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.